We reconvene the regular session agenda for the June 25th, 2025 meeting of the Board of Education, Pomona Unified School District. Roll call, please, Ms. Rojas.
Mrs. Tai,
Here.
Dr. Nashua,
Present.
Dr. Perlman,
Here.
Mr. Jimenez,
Present.
Mrs. Gonzalez.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to be way different this time. Could I have the whole Carrillo family do the Pledge of Allegiance? Well, not the whole. One's missing, sorry. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moving on to 1.03, announcements of actions taken in closed session. Mr. Moore.
No reportable actions were taken this evening.
Moving to 1.04, superintendent's comments, corrections, or additions to the agenda. Mr. Knowles.
Thank you, Madam President. We do have a few pulls, so please bear with me, and good evening, everyone. Okay, we are pulling agenda item 5A05, certificated personnel, change of assignment, salary or status, section D, pull number 1 only. We are also pulling 5A13, certificated personnel, recruitment, retention, stipend, special education. We are pulling number 19, 38, 44, 56, 72, and 114 only. We're pulling 6.01, certificated administrative director, special ed. 6.04, we're pulling classified establishment of fund for position for coordinator maintenance and operations. And then we are pulling 7.84, fiscal agreement policy share LLC. And then the last pull for this evening is 9.05, resolution number 3, 2526, authorizing the issuance and sale in general obligation bonds, election of 2024, Series A, in the principal amount of not to exceed $68 million to provide financing for projects authorized under Measure UU and approving documents and official actions relating thereto. And that's the final pulls this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knowles. Moving on to section 1.05, presentation and staff reports. Golden Bell Award presentation, Diamond Ranch High School. My work son, Mr. Matthew Mizell.
Thank you for having me here tonight. Oh, excellent. Thank you, everyone, for having me here tonight. So I'm presenting Panther Cafe. Panther Cafe is just an amazing program opportunity that we have at Diamond Ranch High School. So just gonna do a quick overview of everything tonight in the time I have. So where we started, Panther Cafe started as a coffee cart where we got a percolator that we borrowed from our office manager during summer school, brewed some coffee, and went around to classrooms, just giving coffee to the staff that was there for summer. And they loved it, the students loved it, the staff loved it. Some pictures of our students doing deliveries around campus. So, when we got back to school the following year, the kids asked if we were gonna do the coffee thing again. I was hesitant, but I said yes. And it started out really as a life skills thing, just something I could give my kids experience doing work-related tasks, vocational skills, which is good for the kids. But then we were able really to move it into more of an academic thing. Program planning, writing, public speaking. For some of our kids who need more support, it's an opportunity to do things like organizing, matching, all sorts of things across the spectrum that gave opportunities to the kids while they were doing work. It has become much bigger now. We are an official club on campus, which allows us certain opportunities where we can sell coffee to the staff. The kids are organizing all the sales. They're making the sales pitches out there. They're collecting money. We're doing job readiness skills because then on Fridays, we're brewing coffee and going out and doing deliveries and continuing doing that. So here's part of the crew. All right. As we grew, we continued to get support. First, it was the support of the staff. It was the support of our principal, self-proclaimed coffee nerd, who actually has contacts with a local roaster down in San Diego. And that really sort of boosted us because we got a donation of coffee beans, which was the biggest expense. So with the beans provided and with the sales through the Google form, we were able to just continue to move on, get bigger, and provide coffee and the experience for the students and the staff on campus. Then the word spread. And with the support of some of the board members, with the support of the CTE program, we now have a commercial coffee machine, we have a commercial grinder, and we took over a space on campus that was sort of, it used to be a staff lounge, and it was sort of underused, and now we're in there and we look like a real coffee shop, I think. So this is where we started. Yeah. There's our little percolators in my classroom. Here's our beans that got donated from Moster Coffee. Thank you very much. Okay. Here we are in our new lounge. Not the best picture of the equipment, but you can see we are in a legit space now, which is nice to have it dedicated like this. It really makes it more meaningful for the kids, and the staff on campus recognizes it too, that we're a legit operation. And we're going to take it further. In the next year, we are going to become part of the CTE pathway. I was able to add a CTE credential, Career and Technical Education credential, and so now next year we're going to have an inclusive class with students from the special education program in the same class as their general education peers, and they're all going to be receiving credit in CTE for this, and it's going to be a great inclusive opportunity and a way to push the students academically as well as vocationally, and we really look forward to those opportunities. So there's a little more pictures of us in action using our new equipment, and that is the presentation. Thank you so much for your time and for your support.
Does anyone have any questions?
I just want to thank you for having that spirit of entrepreneurial spirit
Okay, thank
within
you.
the school district. I know that it's hard sometimes to do that in terms of a place here that is so difficult, to do these sort of things, where everything moves so slowly. So I want to thank you for that, and I know that as a person who deals with new hires, so difficult than just to learn how to have phone skills or just have eye contact or those sort of things are so important where you can get them out of that shyness and get them to start thinking, building that confidence. So thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great point. And in regards to the entrepreneurial spirit, I've always felt that in this place, you can have ideas, but until you get the support, they're really not going to come to fruition. And the support that Panther Cafe has received at the site, at the district, it has been incredible, almost to the point of overwhelming, where things feel like they're moving too fast sometimes, but it's been incredible. So I just want to, thank everyone. Thank you, Dr. G.
I saw your super duper ice machine behind you there. So how did they get that ice machine?
So, thank you.
Dr. Perlman?
Thank you so much for the presentation. And I just wanted to mention that you also happen to be Teacher of the Year. So anyway, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure visiting your classroom and meeting your students. And thank you, Dr. Gomez, for your support in this too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
I do have a couple of questions.
Yes.
So on a Friday, how many cups of coffee do you make and serve?
We have 30 plus deliveries that we do each Friday, plus we have additional people who come into the cafe. So, and this is all within the window of what is nutrition to, like the end of first period to nutrition, so which is about a 30-minute window. We're out there, and if you've been to Diamond Ranch, it's a pretty big campus. So our kids are out there.
No, I've never been there.
Our hope is to expand our operations beyond just Fridays, especially if we're having a CTE course. And obviously part of that course is having our students brew coffee more often. which is why it's important for us to keep on tapping into our community partners. So, like, in addition to Mosher Coffee, which was a huge get for us, I'm also reaching out to other more local coffee shops as well. Clatch Coffee, trying to get some donations from them, and because obviously, as you mentioned before, like the beans itself is, let me rephrase, high quality beans, because I'm a nerd, is extremely can be expensive. It can be a huge expense, and especially if we let this class grow the way that we want it to, we would be expecting to make a lot more coffee than we have. So with that expansion, we're hoping to have like more and more of our staff members partake in the sweet nectar of life that is coffee.
And I do want to mention, which wasn't in your presentation, that how awesome it was when we went to the opening ceremony for the dance room, how your kids were set up in the corner, and I thought that was really cool. That's another avenue. I mean, not only did they get to see a part of campus that, yes, they get to be involved in, but they were well received and welcomed. So I just think it's a great program, and I appreciate all that you do for the kids with disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
You should have brought some coffee.
I tried to get him to bring some kids. I would like to share the following statement. As we, the PUSD Board of Trustees, PUSD staff and members, and the public are gathered here for this business meeting, we are mindful of our values as a compassionate community whose work is in the education and well-being of our children, youth, in support of their families, homes, families, neighborhood, and in our city. As we make our public comment, we agree to be respectful and courteous to all. We agree that no personal attacks, profanity, booing, distracting signs, or props are inappropriate, remembering that that there are often children present, and that our words and actions serve as an example of a respectful and effective communication. We understand that each public speaker is limited to 3 minutes to ensure that all have an equal opportunity to speak. We thank you for honoring these cherished civic values as we proceed with the meeting. First up, moving on to 1.06, California School Employee Association Representative, Ms. Orozco.
Thank you, President Tai, Vice President Nashua, members of the board, Superintendent Knowles, Cabinet, my APT, CSEA, and PACE brothers and sisters, and all those that are here tonight. I want to, say as we are closing out the year, we've had, a few challenges, but working together as a team, it's helped tremendously. The classified members are looking forward to the new year. And speaking of the new year, we want to talk about today. I want to thank the district for helping CSEA to conduct our ending of the year meeting, beginning of the year for the custodians today. Mr. Jimenez was there, Mr. Knowles, Mr. Mesa, Mr. Rush. We had him on the hot seat to answer questions. It was really good, and we want to be able to continue these type of meetings and invite the board members to come out so that the members, they were very happy. They were very tentative in what was going on. Usually they'll be sitting there talking or amongst each other, but it wasn't like that. They were focused, listening. We had Mr. Knowles on the hot seat for a little bit there. He did a great job. But mainly they were able to hear the concerns that's going out there because we want to make sure, we told them that we want to make sure come August that the smiles on the face of those children to come in and see how clean and safe the environment is. And they were very helpful. They, we also had where we reversed the triangle there a little and asked, management how they can do what their responsibilities to help to make sure that the custodians are able to get this done. And it was to me, what happened, it was such a blessing to see everybody together and having concerns. I always enjoy Mr. Jimenez when he's talking about history type things about him, and they were paying attention because grew up here dealing with it. And they really saw some down to earth and heard some down to earth things. And that was very, very good because after the meeting, I basically told them, this is your opportunity to talk. Usually people are shy, they don't want to say anything. And I go, I know you're all going to go outside, have your sidebar conversations. But when you do, have someone come back and let us know what's happening, because that's the most important for me as well, because not just because, I have children that attend here, but just the fact that we want the community. I love what Mr. Menes said, that the mini college type atmosphere, the look, how the campus should be. And so it is a collaboration, and one of the things is teaching our students. I gave the example when I was at Gary High School and the kids wanted to hang out over there with the student store, that okay, you want to be here, you got to clean up your mess. Don't leave the lunch there, pick it up. So it starts with them as well, to teach them what needs to be done. Eating in the classroom, we understand that because there are some special areas where we do need to have that and accommodate it, but they understand that. Now, all they were looking was communication. Let us know what is the expectations and what needs to be done. And they'll take that challenge and make sure it gets done. So as soon as that happened, I get phone calls. I don't know how fast this got out, but where food service would like to have a meeting like that, to have, see you there with management and CSEA as a family. They're working together. And it's not a gripe session. It's just to hear where they're coming from and understanding. So we invite you to come out to the campuses as they're going on. There's construction going on, but at least if there's an understanding, people will know that the work is getting done. And we want to be able to say that, see those stars there when those kids come in, because that's what makes me happy. And I'm sure that's the same with you and the community. So thank you so much for your participation and pulling that through really quick. All right, good night.
Associated Pomona Teachers Representative for the last time.
Okay, good afternoon, President Tai, Vice President Nashua, members of the board, and Superintendent Knowles. Good evening, APT, CSEA, and PACE brothers and sisters, parents, students, and community of Pomona. Board of Trustees, today you will be presented a tentative agreement between APT and PUSD. Although the state allocation of funds was only 1.07%, we were able to procure much of the funds to benefit our members. The TA includes an increase in our health benefits allocation of $1,200. Additionally, 3 steps will be eliminated from our 28-step salary schedules. Finally, there will be a 2% off schedule for our bargaining unit members. Highlights also include stipends for various coaches, fewer minutes for school counselors and secondary teachers, a few changes in the language under safety conditions of employment, and some compensation and release time for specific groups of special education teachers. These are much needed improvements for our members. So please vote yes. As of July 1st, Ms. Mary Morales will officially take over the APT presidency. Mary is a dedicated teacher for the students with special needs. She has over 20 years of experience at Pomona. She has taught students from the elementary level to the high school level. APT has already experienced success from her dedication and contribution as the first vice president, grievance chair, and organizing chair. I'm confident that she will continue to strengthen our union and our voice. Here is Ms. Mary Morales.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to start by saying something kind of important. With our democracy, I feel under attack as a nation, as a state. I really think collaboration is essential. I think working together is key to be those leaders that our students, our family, and our community needs. It's going to be an interesting year, and I want you guys to know that APT is here to help in any way we can, to help our students, to help our community with the fear and restlessness. It's kind of crazy out there. So thank you guys. I want to start with that. Secondly, Associated Pomona teachers, we've come a very long way. And thanks to Wei-Su Lo, and with the support of our members as a union, we have grown. I want to thank Wei-Su and continue the great work that we started almost 4 years ago. In less than 4 years, our union has worked with POSD to bring about change for our educators, our students, and community. To quote the Carpenters, we've only just begun. I'll sing next time. We will continue the great work Wei-Su has started and continue to work collaboratively to ensure equity, fairness, inclusivity, and more importantly, integrity. When we look over the board minutes and see administration growing in a district with a declining enrollment, that is a problem. When we are told that there is no money for competitive salaries or benefits, and then positions are created with pay increases, it decreases morale and slows collaboration. We are adding more nonprofits, more consultants, more directors, and yet at the negotiations table, we are met with the old adage, declining enrollment, or there isn't enough money. We will continue to have shortages if we continue doing things the same way. We call that insanity. The definition of insanity, as we all know, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. We must make big changes to realize our vision for PUSD, big changes. APT envisions safe classrooms, community involvement, parent involvement, competitive salary and benefits, experienced and qualified leadership, innovative and technologically advanced campuses, robust arts programs, 21st century CTE and ROP opportunities, and always collaboration at all levels. I know PUSD agrees. Who could disagree with that vision? APT is excited to collaborate and truly be the agents of change, because together we are all stronger. Thank you guys, and I look forward to this year.
I thought you were gonna say, to quote the Carpenters, it's plum, nail it. What is that? The real Carpenters, you know?
Oh. I was just gonna ask you not to sing, so. And 1.08, there will be no comment tonight from the Pomona administrators, confidential and classified management employees. I'd like to read another statement for you, please. In the interest of time and efficiency, each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to address the board. Any one subject area may be allowed a maximum of 20 minutes for discussion by the public members. Members of the public may address the board on agenda items during oral communication, agenda items only. As each matter arises on the agenda and/or open oral communication. However, the board cannot discuss any matters that are not on the agenda. We ask that any speaker who intends to share documents or materials with the board, please provide them to the staff at the staff table, and the staff will share them with the board. Furthermore, we ask that the speakers remain in their seat until their names are called and be seated at the conclusion of your individual comments. Conduct at the board meeting is prescribed by Government Code Section 54957.9. Please refer to the last page of the agenda for a statement of this policy. Mr. Moore, do I have any more speaker slips?
I believe you have all of the speaker slips at this time.
Okay, thank you. First, we have Mr. Carrillo.
President Tai, members of the board, Superintendent Knowles, and committee members, especially those who may be uncertain or opposed to this amendment, 9.10. Good evening. I come before you not just as a parent or committee member, but as someone who has witnessed, experienced, and benefited from Superintendent Darren Knowles' leadership. I know there are some here tonight who may question this amendment. Some may believe the salary is too high. Others may feel someone from outside the district could bring fresh ideas. I hear you, and I want to speak to all of you directly. But first, let's start with a question. What does true leadership look like in a district like Pomona Unified? It is someone who shows up only when Is it someone who shows up only when the cameras are rolling? Or is it someone who quietly attends the funerals of our students without posting it online or with a photo op, simply because he cares? Mr. Knowles is a kind leader who gets hugs from parents, not headlines. He shows up to elementary talent shows and high school concerts, but also when it's uncomfortable, painful, and real. That's not politics, that's humanity. Now let's talk about what some are calling outrageous salary. Mr. Knowles' proposed annual salary is $316,765 with one-time retroactive payment and benefits as outlined. Some have asked, isn't that too much? Let's put this into perspective. Pomona Unified has over 21,000 students, over 40 schools, and employs more than 1,600 certificated staff. Compare that to similar this size districts in California, Alhambra, about 18,000 students, superintendent earns $365,000. Burbank, 15,000 students, superintendent earns $331,000. Garden Grove, 39,000 students, salary exceeds $400,000. So in fact, Mr. Knowles' compensation is well within the range, if not below, what superintendents make in similar size districts, and many of those superintendents don't have the same level of community visibility, trust, or connection that Mr. Knowles has. Some people argue we need someone new, but how do you replace a leader who served as head of human resources, who already knows our schools, our staff, and our students, and who takes action when he hears concerns? I say this as a father of a child with special needs. I recently visited 3 schools. 2 were not what we wanted for our son. I shared this directly with Mr. Knowles. He didn't deflect, he didn't delay. He said, let's take care of this. And within weeks, he followed up, made plans, and showed progress. That's not just leadership, it's accountability. So yes, we could look outside the district, but why replace someone who already knows the road when he's already walking with us? This isn't just about a contract, it's about continuity, it's about investing in our leader who shows up, listens, and follows through. Thank you.
Pond.
Good evening. Good evening, members of the board, cabinet, educators, and fellow community members. My name is Pawn, and I'm here to make a public comment about 2 agenda items. First, under the business services section, item 7.33, for an established fiscal agreement with Pomona Valley Pride, formerly Pomona Pride Center, Incorporated. I am not in support of the district giving Pomona Valley Pride, our local LGBTQ plus center that covers 12 cities in the Inland Empire and LA County, $300,000 for a 25-26 academic school year mentoring program. This is a 3-fold increase from the donation made in 2023 per their request. It is stated that the funding would provide mentoring, academic support, and tutoring services for the LGBTQ plus identifying middle and high school students and their families. This agreement extends the agreement through June 30th, 2026, and increases the amount payable under the agreement by $300,000 to an amount not to exceed $600,000. This agreement will serve 250 students, and the cost per student is $1,200, and that includes transportation. The agreement states that students will be provided social, emotional support, health, and wellness activities, events, and engaging programs with a youth engagement specialist. The program will be measured by student attendance, monitoring academic performance, regular assessments, feedback from the students, families, site administrators, and by conducting surveys. If the academic performance is going to be measured, the exception The expectation is that there's academic tutoring, but there's no mention of that on their PomonaValleyPride.org website. However, there are many non-academic programs available to students to include youth activists programs, art class and workshop, youth podcasts, mental health conversations. And one program that I found on their website that caught my eye is their Reading Rainbow program, which just is described as a welcoming environment for individuals to explore literature including novels, essays, articles, graphic novels, and comics specifically crafted for the LGBTQIA+ community. The description also goes to say, we actively encourage participants to recommend books to engage stimulating conversations. As my time winds down, I'm here to say this is the same group that was here last meeting, June 11th, that were in support of keeping pervasively vulgar, sexually explicit books in our library system. These are the same books that they will be talking about in their Reading Rainbow program with minors and parents present, with minors without parents present, and that's an illegal offense. I'm in support of 9.06. Thank you.
Next, we have Angelina Carrillo.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Angelina Carrillo, and I'm a recent graduate from Diamond Ranch High School. And this upcoming fall, I'll be continuing my education at Pomona College. As someone who has been part of the Pomona Unified School District since preschool, I wanted to briefly share a student's perspective and express my appreciation for Superintendent Darren Knowles. Throughout high school, I was heavily involved in both the choir and theater programs at my school, and these programs were incredibly meaningful to me as they helped shape who I am today. They taught me skills such as collaboration, leadership, and confidence in public speaking. I don't think I would be able to speak in front of this many people if you asked me like 4 years ago before I was in these programs, so I think that says a lot. It also gave me a space to grow not just artistically, but also as a person. What truly stood out to me was Mr. Knowles' consistent support of the arts. I remember seeing him at almost every choir concert and theater production, and he even stayed afterwards to congratulate us and give us a handshake or a hug. He even stopped by rehearsals in the auditorium to say hello sometimes, which meant a lot. This kind of encouragement and involvement matters much more than people realize. It gives me and my peers a sense that what we were doing mattered, and that our voices and our creativity were seen and valued. When students and teachers spoke up about the needs of our programs, Mr. Knowles listened, and he advocated for us. And because of that, I watched our theater program grow exponentially. I remember the early days when I was a freshman doing Cinderella, and now as a graduated senior doing Into the Woods, which was a production that brought our whole school community together. Thanks to programs like these and the support that they received, I've grown into someone who feels ready to take on new challenges and opportunities, including attending a prestigious college this fall. And I know I'm not the only student who feels this way. So on behalf of myself and students like me, I want to say thank you, Superintendent Knowles. Your support has made a real and lasting difference. I hope you continue in your role because students across the district benefit from your leadership, presence, and your heart for your community. Thank you.
Angel Ariano.
Good evening. My name is Angel Ariano. The date is June 25th, 2025, and the time is 6:54 p.m. Tonight, I'm here in person to give you my feedback on agenda item 9.06, approval of the charter renewal petition of School of Extended Educational Options, also known as SAO. As a parent of a second grader who attends SAO, I am requesting the Board of Education vote yes on the charter renewal. And on a separate note, I would like to thank Tamara Gonzalez for meeting with me this week or last week, and I really appreciate you meeting with me and being transparent, answering all my questions on your point of view. And then on another note, I'd like to thank Dr. Nashua and Mr. Jimenez for reaching out to me so we could then meet up in the next 30 days or so once we get on a good calendar day. And that's it for my comments today.
Moving on to section 2.01, superintendent oral communication and agenda items.
No comments, Madam President.
Moving on to 2.02, approval of minutes from the special board meeting of April 29th, May 22nd, and the regular board meeting of May 7th, 2025. May I have a motion, please? Motion by Dr. Nashua, second by Dr. Perlman. Any discussion? May I have your vote, please?
5-0, motion passes.
Moving on to section 3, consent calendar. The consent calendar includes items 3 through 8. All of these items will be considered and voted on together unless specifically removed for individual consideration. I'm going to start coughing again, excuse me. Oral communication on consent calendar items only. Do we have any yellow slips, Mr. Moore?
No additional slips at this time.
Is that in two different places? What? This always messes me up, Angie. May I have a motion on the consent calendar, please?
I'll move that.
Second?
Motion by Dr. Perlman, second by Mr. Jimenez. Is there any discussion? May I have your vote, please?
5-0, motion passes.
Oops. Moving on to section 9, special action items. Oral communications on special action items only. Do I have any additional? Thank you, Mr. Moore.
None at this time.
9.02, approval of local control accountability plan. Mr. Avia? You're making a presentation, right? Yeah.
Good evening, President Tai, Vice President Dr. Nashua, board members, Mrs. Gonzalez, Dr. Perlman, Mr. Jimenez, Superintendent Knowles, Cabinet, APT, CSEA, and members of the audience. In compliance with Education Code 52060 to 52077, a governing board of the school district shall hold at least one public hearing to solicit the recommendations and comments of members of the public regarding the specific actions and expenditures proposed to be included in the local control and accountability plan. The LCAP public hearing was held on June 11, 2025, and the LCAP is presented today for board approval. Thank you.
Mr. Moore, probably point of order since I went to 903 instead of 902. Is that, am I okay to take my motion right now for 902?
My understanding is that Mr. Villa presented on item 902, and at this time, you can take and seek a motion and a second, and then take the vote.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved by Mr. Jimenez, second by the doctors down here. Any discussion?
Excellent presentation, Mr. Villa. I encourage you to keep doing the same.
May I have your vote, please?
Five zero, motion passes.
I have another point of order. So is Ms. Garcia doing the presentation right now, or we're just voting?
The vote that was taken on 9.02 has completed. 9.03 is a presentation only, which has just taken place, I understand.
Yeah.
So at 9.04, we would have Mrs. Garcia come before the board and make a presentation, at which point
It didn't say presentation, to be fair. Yeah.
Good evening, President Ty, Mr. Vice President, Dr. Nashua, board members, Mr. Knowles, colleagues, and everyone present tonight. Our Ed Code requires that school districts hold a public hearing regarding our proposed budget on or before July 1st. The public hearing needs to take place at a separate meeting from the budget adoption. The district held its public hearing at the last board meeting, and tonight we're requesting the board approve our proposed budget. The state legislature passed Senate Bill 101, and this is a preliminary budget agreement between the State Assembly and the Senate. This version will still need to be, then it goes to the governor, and then once the governor signs, it becomes our balanced budget. Today, we learned that the governor is already approving or signing that balanced budget, and this is before his June 30th deadline. And so with this agreement, there will be follow-up trailer bills. They call it, this agreement is referred to as the Budget Bill Junior, and there's a ton of trailer bills that will come after. The district will have 45 days to revise or make adjustments to our budget after it gets approved. And so tonight, again, we're asking for the board to approve our budget. We did use the May revised assumptions, and the budget is available online, and we have copies in our office as well. Thank you.
Is there any
Any
questions?
questions? Sorry.
May I have a motion?
Thank you.
Second that?
I didn't hear who nominated.
Roberta, I think.
Dr. Perlman motioned and Mr. Jimenez second. Any discussion? May I have your vote, please?
5-0, motion passes.
Moving on to 9.06, approval of the charter renewal petition of School of Extended Educational Options. Good evening.
Good evening, President Tai, Vice President Dr. Nashua, board members, Superintendent Darrell Knowles, Cabinet, APT, CSEA, and members of the audience. Tonight, we will be reviewing our staff analysis and proposed findings of facts regarding the request for the renewal of charter petition for School of Extended Educational Options K-12 Charter School. Our purpose is to present the staff analysis and proposed findings of facts regarding our request for the renewal of the charter petition for SAO K-12 Charter School Ed Code 47605. This is an overview about SAO. SAO serves approximately 1,169 students across our grades TK K-12 and offers 4 independent programs. We offer the High School Alternative Education Program, the Elite Sports Institute Soccer, Innovation Learning Academy Homeschool, and the Sports and Performing Art Programs vendor partnerships. We wanted to share the timeline of SAO's existence. It started back in April 3rd of 2007 as an initial charter petition. On May 22nd of 2007, the board approved resolution number 25. As we moved on in the 5 years, 2012, the
board again renewed the charter on May 22nd. In 2017, as you could see, we renewed the petition again as resolution number 29. And then something little like COVID happened. And due to COVID-19, the SAO received an automatic extension for 22-23 and 23-24 school year. And so it is expiring now. 2025, this is our 18th year of operation, and we're seeking to renew the charter for another 5 years from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2030. A little bit of the status of what we're trying to ask for. There is 3 statuses in regards to how we renew. There's a high-performing standard that renews a charter for 5 to 7 years, a middle-performing standard that is 5 years, and then there's the low-performing standard. All this also can be found on the website. We have posted the staff, and in the board book, actually, the staff analysis in more detail. This is an overview. Right now, we are asking that the board approve at the middle after our analysis, and I'll share that tonight as our findings. We did do a visit, and we also went through all the elements, and so we're asking for us to do a 5-year renewal for sale. The review of the charter petition, again, the staff reviewed the renewal indicating that the educational program, and we wanted to make sure it integrated a cycle of learning structure and a multi-tier system of support that meets the required elements of a sound educational program. We likely to successfully implement the program set forth in the revised renewal charter and contains reasonable, comprehensive description of all 15 elements. The first element is the education program, again, making and ensuring that we foster an inclusive environment that goes beyond the traditional education that prepares students for successful engagement within their communities and society at large. And we went through all these elements and we saw that they met these. So we just want to make sure that everybody is able to understand all of the components that needed to be reviewed for this charter to be brought forward for a approval. Measurable student outcomes and assessment participation uses assessments to ensure consistent evaluation of student progress. Methods of measurement in element 3, data plays a central role in the continuous improvement efforts. Governance, it's composed members with leadership experience with PUSD. Qualifications of employees, staff complies fully with all applicable state and federal legal requirements. Element 6, health and safety, developed a comprehensive policies and consulted with insurance carriers, ensuring compliance with state regulations. Element 7, achieving racial and ethnic balance, attracts a diverse student body that reflects the broader community it serves. Element 8, admission requirements, maintains an open admission policy, welcoming applicants with fairness regardless of students' background. Element 9, financial planning, reporting, and accountability, provides sufficient information in the renewal charter to substantiate the required elements for the manner in which annual independent financial audits shall be conducted. Element 10, provision for suspension and expulsion. They follow all discipline policies aligned with PUSD's guidelines. Element 11, employee retirement system. Staffs are covered under the state teachers retirement. STIRS, public school alternatives, offers families an alternative education option. Element 13, right of district employees, provides sufficient information to substantiate the required elements for the rights of an employee of the school district upon leaving the employment of the school district to work in a charter school, and any of the rights to the school district after employment at a charter school. Element 14, mandatory dispute resolution. They follow the PUSD's uniform complaint procedures to address internal disputes. And the last element, element 15, procedures for closure. District staff concludes that SAO provided sufficient information in the renewal charter to substantiate the required elements for the procedures to be used if the charter school closes. Based on all the elements and everything, our walkthroughs, it is a recommendation of the district staff that the School of Extended Educational Option, known as SAO, renewal charter to be approved, and that the district board adopt board resolution number 28 for 24-25, approving the renewal of the charter school SAO. The analysis of the SAIL's current educational program operations, locations, and administrative structure is evident that SAIL is likely to serve the interests of the entire community of PUSD. And that is our findings. Again, this analysis is in more detail, has quite a few pages, has more in-depth. If anybody wants to review it further, it is available for viewing. And with that, if anybody has any questions, that ends our presentation.
Thank you. Any questions? May I have a motion?
I have a question. I'll move.
Ms. Fuentes, we have a question.
So in your determination of status of the high, middle, or low performing status, what criteria was missing for SAO to receive a high performing status for a 5 to 7 year renewal term?
Let me look at my notes. Okay.
Thank you.
So in regards to the assessment and accountability, when we look at their CAS data, it's not where we would see it as a high performing where we want it. Has it improved? Yes, we've seen improvement. Right now, our data is embargoed, meaning that we cannot release it until the state allows us to, but we are seeing movement, but it's not where it would be to receive that type of status.
And that's the only area?
Yes, it would be those indicators. Okay? Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Thank you.
May I have, did you have a question?
No.
May I have a motion?
I'll move 9.06.
I'll second.
Moved by Dr. Perlman, second by Mrs. Gonzalez. May I have any other discussion? May I have your vote, please?
Five zero, motion passes.
Mr. Moore?
Thank you, President Tai. We understand that at item 9.03, there were additional indicators that Mr. Villa needed to share that were truncated when he was up last time. And so, as a point of order, if we could ensure that Mr. Villa has the time necessary to meet the legislated criteria for that report out, now would be a good time for that.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about the confusion. I wasn't expecting to be called up for 9.02, so when you called me,
Well,
it threw things off. Not a
I
problem.
think the presentation threw me off. Maybe it's my dyslexia, I don't know, but here you are.
Mr. Jimenez, I think I'm going to disappoint because this one's a little bit longer. I'm sorry about that. As part of approving the Local Control and Accountability Plan, or LCAP, I am here to present the dashboard local indicators. Per Ed Code 52064.5, California's accountability system is based on a multiple measure system that assesses how districts and schools are meeting the needs of our students. Performance on these measures is reported through the California School Dashboard in the form of state and local indicators. In addition to being a public record of progress on the dashboard, local indicators, along with state indicators, they serve to inform process and planning within the LCAP. Local indicators allow school districts to measure progress in areas the state does not assess. For example, in school climate or parent engagement and implementation of academic standards. These local indicators provide a platform for local self-reflection and continuous improvement aligned to district goals. As shown here, the dashboard includes a concise set of state indicators and local indicators that are founded on the local control funding formula. They are also aligned to the measures required under ESSA, Every Student Succeeds Act. Local indicators address the following state priorities, and these are the 5 tiles that you see on your screen here, the last 5 tiles. Basic services, which is priority 1, where we use the TAMO, FIT, and Williams sufficiency reports as measures. Implementation of state academic standards, priority 2, where we use the state-provided reflection tool as a measure. Parent and family engagement, which is priority 3, where we use the state-provided self-reflection tool as a measure. School climate, priority 6, where we use the California Healthy Kids Survey, California School Staff Survey, and California School Parents Survey as measures. And finally, access to a broad course of study, priority 7 and 8, where we use a narrative self-reflection tool as a measure. For each local indicator, we are required to, number 1, annually measure its progress in meeting the requirements of the specific LCFF priority. Number 2, report the results as part of a non-consent item at the same public meeting at the local governing board body in which the LCAP is adopted. And number 3, report results to the public through the dashboard utilizing the state-adopted self-reflection tools for each local indicator. We are currently in the process of submitting local indicator data onto the California dashboard, and we anticipate that all local indicators will reflect standard met. This concludes the presentation of the dashboard local indicators in conjunction with the approval of the LCAP. Thank you very much for your time.
Any,
That was just an informational item.
okay.
Thank you.
Nine 9.07, I can count. Resolution, I haven't called you. Resolution number 37, compensation, health, and welfare proposal for Pomona administrators, classified management, Group A, classified supervisor, confidential, Group B, employees, PACE, Mrs. San Martin.
Good evening, President Tai, Vice President Nashua, the Board of Education, Superintendent Knowles, my fellow cabinet members, representatives from CSEA, APT, and all of the audience members present here this evening. We appreciate the continued collaboration and commitment from each and everyone here and everything they bring to our district. As I begin this presentation, I want to take a moment to acknowledge and recognize the collective efforts that support our students, our staff, and our school community. Everyone's engagement and partnership has been vital to the success of our shared work. For item 9.07, resolution number 37, this is for our PACE administrative staff. It outlines the compensation and health and welfare adjustments for active employees who are a part of PACE, which includes Group A, our classified management, and our confidential employees, Group B, and our administrators that are on Schedule C. This, in summary, what it provides is a 2% off-schedule payment retroactive to July 1st, 2024. In addition, there will be an increase to the total yearly allotment for health and welfare benefits in the amount of $1,200 for the year, bringing the total to $12,560. In order to make that retroactive for the 2024-25 school year, it will come in the form of an off-schedule payment in lieu of adding to the benefits since the year has now ended. So that will, those are the main summaries of this. This resolution reflects our commitment to recognizing and supporting our management and confidential teams while maintaining equity and parity across employee groups. As you will see in 9.08, there will be a similar summary for our APT resolution, tentative agreement.
Is there any questions? Thank you.
I have a question.
We
Oh,
have-
no, I don't have a question.
Now we have questions.
No, we don't have a question.
I thought you,
No.
okay.
It's always I misread the situation. We don't have any questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May I have a motion?
I'll second.
First motion by Dr. Perlman, second by Mrs. Gonzalez. Any other discussion? May I have your vote, please?
5-0, motion passes.
up for 9.08.
Welcome. Thank you. For 9.08, this is our, similar to the PACE agreement you just approved. This is the tentative agreement for reopeners. We call them reopeners when we negotiate. And this is the tentative agreement for the 24-25 school year between Pomona Unified School District and our associated Pomona teachers. Again, the financials are 2% off-schedule payment, $1,200 increase to health and welfare benefits, and for the 24-25 school year, they will receive cash in lieu of that addition to their health and welfare. Again, this agreement reflects our ongoing commitment to supporting our educators while maintaining fiscal responsibility and compliance with state regulations. I also want to thank the negotiating team for all the hours and days of negotiation, and obviously Wei Su. She joined us on several occasions. We worked really hard to get to this point, so thank you for your consideration.
Any questions? Mr. Moore, is there any speaker slips on this section? I don't have any up here.
No, not at this time. However, it will be important to open the public hearing.
That too. I'd like to open public hearing for this item. Have we received any public comments regarding item 9.08?
Not at this time.
Thank you. I'll close public hearing. May I have a motion?
I'll move 9.08. Oh, did you have a question?
No, I was gonna move it.
Oh, okay, please go ahead, and I'll second it.
I'll move it.
And I'll second.
Do you have that, Angie? Is there any discussion? May I have your vote, please?
Five zero, motion passes.
Thank you.
Ms. San Martin, 9.09.
This is one more MOU, and this MOU is between Associated Pomona teachers and Pomona Unified School District in regards to our transitional kindergarten program. As you know, that program has been evolving and has been adding to our enrollment and has been a very positive, bright spot in the past, several years since it started. The TKMOU is a testament to the collaborative work achieved by interest-based bargaining with Associated Pomona teachers. The previous version of this MOU, which we had last year, allowed for Pomona Unified to expand TK to every school except for 3 that absolutely had no additional room in which to house them. So that's a huge, huge increase for us, and it's something to be very proud of, as not all districts have been able to increase in the same way that we have and offer that to all of their students. TK, though, is considered a hard-to-fill program. However, it has not been hard to fill in Pomona Unified because of the work and the collaboration that went into designing this MOU by building mentorship into the MOU, which has allowed for our teachers to gain some of the additional requirements that is needed to be able to teach the course. This MOU will also bring us into compliance with current state regulations, which move the ratio from 12-1, 12 students to 1 teacher, to 10-1. Again, this program is TK, so we're serving very, very young 4-year-old students. So I want to thank Wei Su, the negotiating team, Anna Tramp, one of our teachers who started the program, who has been a key support and mentoring and helping us build the MOU. Lilia Fuentes, who started the TK, how about 8 years ago? I don't know, it's been a while. And for Dr. Ambrose for keeping the implementation growing and ensuring that it has grown to the program it is today. So with that, I recommend approval. I'll leave it to you.
I would like to open the public hearing. Have we received any public comments regarding items 9.09?
None at this time.
I will close public hearing. May I have a motion?
I'll move 9.09.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Perlman, second by Dr. Nashua. Is there any discussion?
If I might just make a comment, that, thank you for the work that everybody's done on behalf of our TK program. I know it's exceptional. How many TK classrooms do we have now, Ms. Fuentes?
We're going to have 60 for next school year.
60 TK
Oh,
classrooms.
wow.
We went from 7 to 12 to 60.
That's pretty amazing, so bravo to the team. Thank you so much.
Any other comments, questions?
I'd just like to add that up. That's a whole new school. Yeah, 600 kids, right?
May I have your votes, please?
5-0, motion passes.
Moving on to 9.10, Amendment Number 2, the agreement between the superintendent and Pomona Unified School District. May I have a motion, please? 9 point,
I'd like to move the item.
on 9 point, it's amendment on 9.9.
Second. Oh,
It's a
Zero.
mouthful.
9.10?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you second?
Yes.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Jimenez, second by Dr. Perlman. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I have a comment.
Go ahead.
I would like to comment that it's important for everybody to know that we went round and round on this topic, and that not all of us agreed, and not all of us agreed with all of the elements and components therein, which will be most likely reflected in our votes. And that's it.
Any other discussion? May I have your votes, please?
Three in favor, 2 against, motion passes.
Moving on to Section 10, Open Oral Communications, Audience Comments. Do I have any additional slips with that?
I believe you have all of the non-agenda item slips at this time.
Okay. First up, I have Megan.
Good evening. I would like to read a letter to the board. It's dated today, June 25th, 2025. Dear President Tai, Vice President Nasha, Dr. Perlman, Mrs. Gonzalez, Mr. Jimenez, and Superintendent Knowles. We are concerned about the recent push for book bans. We respect others' rights to express their opinions, particularly if these individuals are part of Pomona Unified School District. As PUSD parents, thank you for this opportunity to express ourselves. Book bans are ill-advised for multiple reasons. Book bans violate the U.S. Constitution and, more often than not, harmfully discriminate against minority groups. As stated in an ACLU press release in February of 2024, over the past year, more than 3,000 books have been banned in schools across America. These books disproportionately feature stories about LGBTQ+ communities, people of color, and others who have been marginalized. Book bans to this effect are not only discriminatory, they are a violation of students' First Amendment right to access information. Especially in light of the incredible diversity of families represented in PUSD, book bans and similar discriminatory actions should not be taken by schools, their libraries, or by PUSD as a whole. Book bans also interfere with parental rights to make decisions regarding what is or isn't appropriate reading material for their children. Books may well contain potentially controversial information. However, open access to such materials is not a threat. Open access recognizes the existence of multiple views and value systems, empowers parents and students to stand by their own views and interpretations, and provides the opportunity for parents to ask questions, discuss concerns, and clarify objections with any given subject. Furthermore, if parents want to forbid their child from reading a book, they can, and without infringing on the rights of others. Book bans amount to unwarranted and unwelcome censorship and control of information. They are a slippery slope of decision-making, with others subjectively deciding what is good and bad for students to read. A significantly better alternative is to teach and support critical thinking and objective, respectful debate, where all sides of an issue can be explored and understood. Thank you for considering our views. Thank you for your continued commitment to diversity. With respect, this is signed by 6 parents: Megan Schulte-Rickard, Malcolm Rickard, Yen Yen Tang, Desmond Chung, Sophia DeAro, Anthony DeAro. I have a copy of this letter and I'll submit it with staff if you're interested. Thank you.
Before I move on, I'd like to acknowledge Officer Bukowski for joining us this evening. I appreciate it. Thank you. Next, we have Martin.
Am I up? As I have previously talked about ethnic studies, tonight I would like to touch on its history. Pride Month. The origin of the term pride comes from the 1968 James Brown song, "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud," which became the unofficial anthem of the Black Power movement of the 1960s. It was then shortened to Black Pride. However, the virtue of the original civil rights movement by Martin Luther King quickly devolved from equal rights for all to affirmative action policy. Yes, policy. Affirmative action was never actually legislated into law, contrary to popular belief. The policy stems from executive orders by Presidents Kennedy and Johnson and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Ironically, none of these authorize group preference, which is the key mechanism of affirmative action. This policy became codified by government, corporate, and academic practice, even though group preference is actually prohibited by the 1964 Civil Rights Act, the CEL. In the 1960s, we were told regarding affirmative action, well, yes, minorities did receive preferential treatment, but this will only be temporary. 60 years later, it's still here. Not only that, but group preference has expanded to include a long list of the marginalized. Today, the continued justification for this policy is systemic racism and intersectional oppression. This core theory comes directly out of CRT and more recently ethnic studies, which justifies group preferences or reverse racism, also known as diversity, equity, inclusion, by the precedence of 60 years of practice of affirmative action policy in America. One way to continue this practice in perpetuity is to teach children in ethnic studies that because oppressive groups like white people, heterosexuals, men, and Christians are morally inferior and will always persecute these oppressed groups, the only way to reverse this is to restrict and impinge their rights in preference to the oppressed. The movement of Dr. Martin Luther King has been hijacked and replaced by Black supremacy, Marxism, LGBT adherence to the point of becoming an article of faith. Thank you for listening.
Next, we have Ms. Cano.
Good evening, all. Public comment for the record. We are concerned with the poor management of capital facilities, maintenance, and operation departments due to lack of transparency. I wanted to start by saying thank you to Dr. Nashua and Ms. Patricia Tai for listening to our public comments. We appreciate you both for taking the initiative to start addressing some of the issues, such as visiting the school sites to physically assess the current condition of the buildings and identify what's needed, and by taking a closer look as to how the bond money will be utilized with the purpose of eliminating waste, direct conflict of interest, favoritism with many consulting firms, general contractors, subcontractors, and ancillary services. For example, as per public records, LCC3 has been assisting PUSD with bonds and grants applications. By doing so, it will be fair to say that getting direct or indirect consulting contracts from PUSD will be considered a conflict of interest. Moreover, none of their vague, poorly put together presentations reflect a long-term facility maintenance plan. Another area of concern is parent engagement. The state guidelines clearly indicates that each school must comply with parent engagement policy requirements to ensure effective involvement of parents, family members, community members, and others to support improvement of students' academic achievements. The district needs to first define what is considered parent engagement, then task principals to create or establish parent centers within on-campus parent facilitators, included but not limited to CELPA, that has been neglected for many years with one member. Parent centers need to have student achievement as the goal. Outreach plans that each school develop need to keep the school's demographics in mind and proceed accordingly. Town hall meetings and coffee with the principals must allow parents to engage, not simply receive information. The state aid priorities should fully align with PUSD promise of excellence and parent involvement. My question is to how will the district ensure that the LCAP support PUSD goals to close the achievement gap for English learners, special education, foster youth, and low-income students without having a current 5-year strategic plan that includes superintendent's plan for parent involvement, collaboration with stakeholders, in partnership with the community? Thank you.
Osara,
Good evening, everybody. I am here to remind you that, yes, TK is here, but remember that kinder has a 1 to 24 ratio, not a 1 to 10 or a 1 to 12. So you have about a year to work on that one. Also, please remember that no K1 combos or 5-6 combos, because it is quite difficult. I'm sorry, Darren, that little stipend is not going to fly with the K teachers, or the 5th and 6th grade teachers, because they're totally different curriculum. Also, we did ask, I don't know if you received the email, if you could extend the testing window for kindergartners, since they're not doing the subtraction until testing for DIA, and those of you on the board, the whole district, we all have to test, and the kindergartners at that time, the teachers don't have the time to teach subtraction, so we wanted a extension, if you will, for the March DIA number 2 for math. Thank you.
moving on to 10.02, Board and Superintendent Oral Communication and concluding comments. Mr. Knowles.
Thank you, Madam President. Just want to thank everybody for hanging in there with us tonight. It's technically the last board meeting for the 24-25 school year, and we look forward to welcoming everybody back as we start the school year. We'll be having our admin kickoff on August 4th. We do have one more board meeting coming up on July 30th. Tomorrow night at the Fox Theater, we do have our all-district choir performing. Tickets are $5, so please come out and join us. It's at 7 p.m. at the Fox Theater. It's a wonderful performance, so please come out and support them. Just want to thank Matthew Mizell, our Teacher of the Year, and also, let's wish us luck on getting the Golden Bell. It's a wonderful program. If you haven't gone up there, please go visit the work that the students are doing up there. And also, I want to thank Mariana. I know she had to leave, but today, and Mr. Jimenez, thank you for coming out to welcome our custodial staff, and they did have some great recommendations for us, and we listened carefully to them, and want to make sure that they have all the supplies and all the equipment that they need to make sure that our schools are clean and safe. And I know, Wesu, I bid you farewell last time, but I do want to welcome Mary. Mary, you have some big shoes to fill, but yeah, I know you're going to do a great job. And again, welcome for your role for APT and your leadership. I want to thank Catherine Schoen and the team and our teacher specialists. Our summer program conference for our teachers has been going on. I think it goes through to June 27th. They offered over 60 sessions of training for our teachers during the month of June. And I know it's been a big success, and I want to thank all of our teachers that have given up some of their summer to come out and learn more and participate and collaborate. And also, I want to thank Lily and the team and Monica Principe and Rosario Ambriz for also putting on our Admin Institute this week and actually last week. And we had over 80 administrators come out. They did a wonderful job. I want to thank Mr. Ortiz, Mr. Areche, Mr. Pantanini, and Mr. Villa. We cooked for them. Fortunately, nobody got sick. We barbecued for them, so we did. They were really, the food was great, but I was like keeping my fingers crossed. But they did a great job, and they're collaborating. They're getting ready for the start of the school year, and we're excited for the start of the school year. And that's all my comments. Thank you, Madam President.
Dr. Perlman.
Thank you, President Tai. First of all, again, thank you to Mr. Maisel and Dr. Gomez and Diamond Ranch for their, exceptional program in serving our special needs population at Diamond Ranch. A few things, we just wrapped up our summer movies. We had them every Tuesday in June, and we showed all kinds of animated films, and in our brand-new theaters. They were beautiful, the sound is excellent, the picture is wonderful. It's like just a professional, like any movie theater you would go to. So our children were able to attend for free with popcorn, etc. It was very cool. The Pomona Public Library Foundation this summer is continuing with our family cultural excursions. We'll be going to the Hollywood Bowl and the Natural History Museum and La Brea Tar Pits and other great trips. Mount Sac is our next one, Mount Sac Planetarium. So we'll be serving a few hundred students at those excursions. And that's it for me. Thank you for coming out.
Dr. Nashua.
I would like to thank everyone who put together this agenda. I don't know if you guys realize it, but we had 110 items that we had to go through. And I have a feeling that the next one, we're gonna probably have another 100 items. And the one last time was about, I think, 80 items. And so I do sit and go through every single one of them and read them and send in my questions. Yes, I do have a life, but I think it's really important. I know your first thought was like, oh my gosh, she has no life. I do have a life, but I really believe and take this role seriously like all of my colleagues do. And I remember reading through it and I was like, holy moly, they've been busy. So thank you, everyone, for doing this and for sticking in with us. And I can't believe that we're ending at a nice time this day. But thank you all for that. And I want to very specifically say that I know how hard the superintendent at PUSD's job is. And I look forward to working with our superintendent to improve and for him to grow and be successful. And our goal is for him to grow into what we need, because you probably saw certain elements, but I think that we have an opportunity to grow and improve. So we're looking forward to supporting you and helping you with that. And he knows I drive him crazy because I'm like, what about this? What about that? I have a scary memory, so I ask him a lot of questions. So thank you.
Mr. Jimenez.
There's a lot in terms of my comments tonight. I want to thank the parents, especially Megan, for coming up tonight, that takes courage. I want to thank the parents also that participated at our movies, at our awesome movie theater. It's incredible, those movie theaters, and our kids just love it. We have state-of-the-art movie theaters, and I have to say that, Lilia, some of us like Star Wars and stuff like that, you know? So I just like the Battle of Coruscant would be awesome with that new system there. So I want to thank you and everybody for the work you've done there, and MO, the facilities people, and everybody who's working so hard. I really felt yesterday when I went there, I was like so, when I saw the children's faces and the family so happy and the popcorn, and it makes you feel good about the work that we're doing, you know? And it feels like we're really making a difference, not just in the classroom, but also in the quality of life of the families that we work with. So I think that's important. I want to also thank our custodians for the work that they do. It's tough being a custodian. I want to thank the union for the work that they do with them, our staff, everybody trying to, things to button up, make things better here in the district. It's difficult, especially in these days in terms of what's going on and so on. And we're still trying to hold on to each other as a family, as a Pomona Unified School District family. That's important. I think also that I want you to be careful about when you put something out about if ICE is here or not here or something, because I got pictures of ICE at the front of Village Academy, and it was the child development cars. And people are thinking it's ICE. It's not. It's the child development cars. They look like ICE because that's what government cars look like. But make sure you look at the doors and before you take the picture and send it. That's very important. We also got child development. ICE was over at the cosmetology store. No, they weren't. There was Pomona Unified School District and a car that looked like ICE in the back. So let's be careful about that because we're already at wit's end with that. I'm brown. I don't know if you noticed that. So, and when I saw what they did to the state, our federal representative, Alex Padilla, I feel like my whole family might talk to my kids and they said, Dad, I feel like we're being spat upon. That's what it felt like from my family. And, so, and then I have my brother who's blonde and he looks so totally white. So he says, I got nothing to worry about. So, because he's not going to get, go through that sort of thing because that's not what happens. But in this community, it's difficult right now. And the whole state of California. So let's keep each other in mind and hold each other together. And let's be more kind to each other a little bit in terms of the work that we're doing. And I know that, I'm sorry, but if you don't like ethnic studies, just take a look in the street right now what's going on. If you care for that, is that what you want? Fine, then knock yourself out. But I don't agree with that. And I know that a lot of people out of California don't agree with that. And it's not that I don't agree with that. I think that's so wrong at so many levels. It's morally reprehensible that children have to cry because people can't go to church. We care so much about church. People can't go to church. I go to church. The churches are empty now. People are not going to grocery stores. People are not going anywhere because they're so afraid. We had a student who was crying because he wanted to go to a college preparation program, and the father couldn't let him because he said, everything we've ever done, and then they can't go to college preparation programs because they're so afraid. So it's just so sad. It's just so sad. And if you don't believe in racism, well, look up the Rangers and what they did to the Hispanic community. They helped the Rangers and the Texas people win the Battle of Texas. Let's see how they ventured. Look at all the people here. We wouldn't have water in Pomona if it wasn't for the Palomares who gave the water to the city of Pomona. The Palomares, who happened to be Hispanic, they were Mexican, because this area was put together during the Mexican period, not the Spanish period, during the Mexican period. And it was Mexican families who wanted to be part of this community, who gave water to this community, literally signed the water over. Her name was Lugarta Palomares. And guess what? You know why Pomona Unified District was never segregated? Because the Palomares family started the program. It was a Mexican family, Mexican people from that area who were not, and I call them Mexican because look, I want to be an American, but right now I don't feel like an American. I feel like a segregated person. You know what? And I don't want affirmative action. I just want to be treated like a regular American. So that's how things are. And we're going to have a lot of conversations in the future. I hope that's for the betterment of our children. And then we continue to hold together in terms of what's happening in the future. But we're not talking about statistics. We're talking about real people. We're talking about real children. And this is what we're facing right now. We have to come together for those that care about these things. And if you care about, talking about the periphery, but if you don't want to talk about the real issue is that the children are being separated from their families, people are not moving anywhere, that's important. So I want to keep you in. And you know what? I'm going to just come out and just say it. Look, LGBTQ kids, they deserve everything they get because it's hard to be an LGBTQ child. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. LGBT kids deserve everything they get from us because if I hear someone speaking against them, how do I feel about them speaking against them? Or if a child committed suicide, okay? We had a child commit suicide at Mi Cafecito. She served coffee, okay? No one listened to her. She was all by herself. She ended her round and she walked across the street. She went into the train, right in front of the train, and she committed suicide right there. Okay? This is a person. Okay? And I have helped in my own family. I've seen the suffering and all this thing that they goes through it. This is why, this is not, so if you want to go ahead and if you hear, you know what, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm 100% supportive of LGBTQ rights. And you know what, not because of the lifestyles or anything, because I'm a human being and I care about other human beings. That's where I'm at. So I don't even want to hear it anymore. I'm tired of it. So that's it. That's my position on it. And I don't care what anybody thinks about that anymore because I'm a human being who cares about other human beings. You know? Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting an applause. I was expecting maybe like rocks or something. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you for that wonderful speech, Mr. Jimenez. I would like to thank you all for attending this evening, staff, our union partners, Mariana from CSCA, Wei Su, and welcome Mary for APT, our staff presentations, all the work that our staff did putting this beast that barely fit in my folder. I could barely turn the pages. There was so much information. I, like Lisa, sit down and tuck in and go for a good read. I'd like to thank everybody who took the time to present a speaker card and share your thoughts and your opinions, whether we agree or not. I appreciate that you do that, so thank you very much. I would like to thank Superintendent Knowles I as well look forward to working with you and continuing this trajectory for our district and moving our students and this school district forward for the best outcome for all of our students in the district. And lastly, I would like to just share something that the city of Pomona is looking to build a 5-story housing complex directly adjacent to Lincoln Elementary, which I publicly oppose. I do not think it's an appropriate complex to be built in such a small location for families, and that will be coming to the city council on July 7th. I encourage you to attend the city council and speak against it because I don't think it's an appropriate complex to be built next to an elementary school. Thank you. Have a great week.
I love that I get to go last. I'd like to invite you all out to spend my anniversary with me tomorrow night at the Fox Theater. My husband can't believe that that's what I wanted to do, but that's how much I love the district choir, and I'm really looking forward to their performance, and I would have to say he probably is too. I haven't been on a school campus for 2 weeks. It feels kind of weird, but there's a lot going on that we're working very hard on. Like Dr. Nashua said, I picked up my agenda package on the 18th, and I picked up my grandkids on the Friday, and trying to have grandkids and go through this agenda was really hard. And Sunday morning, I had finished every section except for the business section, and I sat there at the table early, and my granddaughter Brooklyn and my grandson Carter, they practiced reading the agenda too. So it was kind of fun, and I got a good work for going through I even showed Darren, I got a good job on my agenda review. But we do take each item very seriously. We do agree to disagree sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's kids that matter the most in this district. And I believe with all my heart, I have a superintendent that feels the same way I do. And I thank you for that. With that, before I can't believe I was going to get emotional over you, geez. But the next regular board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, July 30th, 2025 at 6 p.m. I want to thank you all for attending. Wei Sue, the best in retirement. Mary, I look forward to working with you. And with that, this meeting is adjourned.
Doesn't work.
Is this